Hey friends, welcome back. Tiffany here, and if you are new here, then welcome, and I hope you consider subscribing if you haven't. So today I've got our May budget report card. Did we do well? Did we not do well? Did we go over budget? Did we stay under budget? You're about to find out. So up here at the top for our income, I had budgeted just under 3,300, and we actually had an income of 51.45 and 90 cents. So some of that was Will did get some overtime. Some of that was selling stuff around the house, selling stuff on eBay. And then a decent little chunk of that was actually cashing out. I had like 3 shares of stock that had literally done nothing over the past year at least. And so I was like, you know what, let's go ahead and cash that out and just help with kind of carry through this, like the ebb and flow of our current financial situation. So I did cash that out and that helped as well. So with that extra income, I will say we did go over in some categories, but let's go ahead and take a look. So down here, our rent is always the same. So that was right on. TV subscriptions, we have Hulu and Netflix, was right on. Life insurance, I was off. I thought that Will's monthly policy premium went into effect next month, but it went into effect this month. And so I had budgeted for mine, but I did not budget for his, and I was off on that month. So we did have to pay for his premium, which is fine. But that's why we went over technically in that category. Cell phone, we went over by 22 cents. Again, just fluctuations in like the taxes and fees. Internet was right on. And if you're looking at the cell phone number and wondering what the heck, and you haven't watched any of our previous videos, that is not only my husband and I, but it includes 2 of my sisters on that plan, and they pay their portion. So that is not all us. Like, you're probably screaming at me like, get a new cell phone plan. But that's not what that is. Electric was actually $32.87 under. They reevaluated our budget plan. And so they took the average over the past 12 months and reevaluated what our monthly average was. And so it was like we owed $92.13 this month, and then going forward, it's going to be $110 a month versus the $125 that it has been. So that's a nice little change. Water, we were $12.06 under and 6 cents under. Sewer, we were $2.39 under. And the water and sewer fluctuate. So I always budget on the high side and then hope that we come under, which we did. The Adobe suite that we pay for monthly was right on track because that doesn't vary. It's a monthly subscription fee. Groceries, I'm basically giving up on the $50 a week thing. I tried. I do really good at first, and then we get halfway through the month and I realize like we don't have this and I want this and I want to make this meal, and my kids are eating more food than they have been. Alice just went through a huge growth spurt. If they're out of school for the summer now, and I feel like they're constantly eating. And so we spent $353.04, which I think is still really great. That's less than $100 per week for a family of 4. The kids are aged 4 and 5, but they eat like crazy some days. So we went over by $153. I just think that $200, I know it's doable because we've done it before, but right now, going forward next month, I think I'm going to change that. And then gasoline, unless for some reason we need to get gas tomorrow, because I'm recording this on the 30th, unless we need it tomorrow, we are $32.07 under budget, which is great. So we only spent just under $120 on gas this month. I have no notes over here about what's going on. So for like the must have, like these are our monthly like bills, we were only over by $100.69. So that's really not too bad. And most of that was groceries, as you could see. So then our debt payments. Student loan was $193.87. Auto loan was $216. We budgeted to send $170 to our city card, and I sent $505, which paid it off. We are officially credit card debt free. So my husband's over here, and I was expecting him to like pop in and like do something funny, but he didn't, so that just ruined the moment.
I heard you right as you said and registered what you were saying.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, I probably should have popped in and did
something silly. Like half the time he'll like slowly lean in and start to like lick my ear or like stick his finger in my. He's weird. So I expected there to be some show there, and he totally failed. This was unscripted, so it's not like he knew he was supposed to do it. But we are credit card debt free, which is very exciting. It's taken us a long time to get here. There it goes. I'm going to turn that into a sound clip to insert into like random places throughout our budget videos.
I'd like to see you do that.
I don't know how to do that.
Exactly.
So that's exciting. That's one less payment that we have each month. And now we don't have to worry about credit cards. Our next goal is to pay off the car or the van, and then focus on student loans, which I don't even want to think about. Okay.
Now, the real question is, was that a sound bite or me doing it again?
That was a sound bite. I learned how to do that in the last 45 seconds.
Woo!
Okay, enough. Okay, so next is kind of our like fluctuating sinking fund categories. Now you'll notice at the beginning of the month, I budgeted basically for nothing. So anything spent in these categories was going off budget. And I even kind of racked my brain and I'm like, okay, are we going to need anything in these categories? And I didn't foresee any needs. But as it turns out, things like that just kind of crop up and when you don't expect it, which is why sinking funds are good. But we're trying to minimize our budget right now. So we haven't been funding many of these sinking funds. So anything that we spend in those categories is... How long was that sitting there? Trying to be all serious up in here and talk about our money, and he's sticking a remote in my ear. Okay, quit goofing off. I'm trying to get work done. So miscellaneous, I didn't budget anything. We spent $2.69, and that was for photos that we printed at Costco for a school project. So that was unexpected. The kids, I budgeted nothing for them because they, as far as I knew, they had everything they needed heading into summer. They had new summer clothes. They had, like, they were good. We spent $32.50. That included index cards. We want to start working with Jackson and Alice too this summer with sight words. And so I bought a pack of index cards to do so. Along that same line, I bought a Teach Your Child to Read in 20 Easy Lessons book, which I will link down below in the description box in case you're interested. But I bought that on Amazon, and so that was included. And then Alice literally outgrew almost all of her shoes over the course of a week. Like, they fit her last week, and then her and I were going shopping, and I told her to get her shoes on, and she couldn't get them on. And I thought, well, maybe her feet are just a little sweaty because it's hot and humid. And I could not get her feet into 3 pair of shoes. Yeah, 3 different pair of shoes I couldn't get on her feet. So it was a pair of tennis shoes and then 2 pairs of like flats or Mary Janes. Nada. So we did buy a new pair of shoes for her. She is probably going to outgrow her Crocs very soon as well, which I was hoping would get her through the rest of the summer because that's our go-to shoe for summer. Just because they're like waterproof, resilient, easy to put on. So we had to buy her a pair of shoes. So none of that was planned for. Household, I threw birthday party supplies in here. So we needed like some napkins and paper plates. We had last minute guest visit from Michigan, which was great, but that was 6 more kids and 1 more adult that we hadn't planned for. So I just wanted to make sure we had like some supplies for the birthday party portion of things. Clothing, this is my husband's fault. We went to Great Wolf Lodge, and I'll link a few videos here and down in the description box. We get there, and he goes to put on his swim trunks, and because he's been working out since January and he's lost some inches, his swim trunks did not fit. They were falling off, and we feared for his butt cheeks popping out at the water park, which is not appropriate, okay? This is not a nude beach. This was a family-friendly water park. So he bought a new pair at the water park. He did.
Sorry.
So we paid gouge prices because it was the water park, but Toasty.
It's a Mortal Kombat thing.
Oh my goodness. $26.68 on new swim trunks. Here's the weird thing. The ones that we brought with him that he's been wearing for years were a men's size small. Okay. So we get there, and what size does he buy? A men's size small, but they were smaller and didn't fall off. So that's good. So anyway, personal care. That included toothpaste. We've gone through this weird debacle with the kids where they're very picky with toothpaste. And I had tried going cheap and getting like Crest Kids, and they don't like anything with a minty taste to it at all. So I had to buy them the kind that they're used to, and that was the Tom's Organic strawberry toothpaste. I also bought some foundation for myself. I did have a coupon, and then the rest of that was vitamins and like supplement type things. Medical and health, I budgeted to put $25 in, and that's exactly what I did. I like to build that one up because you never know when you're going to have co-pays with kids. That has more than $25 in the balance. I don't show the balances here, but that's how much we put into that account. Fun money was supposed to include any fun activities we did at our Great Wolf Lodge weekend, and we had planned on doing mini golf and bowling, and we didn't do either of those. Instead, we did the arcade, so I think we did like $20 in arcade credit, and then paid the balance after gift card on the actual hotel room. So I had budgeted $60, and we only spent $43.92, so we came in under on that. However, dining out, when we had our guests in earlier in the month for that weekend, like I mentioned, Will's sister and the kids came. We went to Chick-fil-A one night, the kids and I. Will was in bed because he had to work the next morning, but we went for like late night snack type thing. The kids and I shared a meal. It was like $11 and some odd cents. And then the four of us went to Fazoli's the day that everyone was heading back to Michigan. And so we did like their lunch specials, and I want to say we spent around $20 there. So that was $30 not budgeted for. Had we not done that, we would have pretty much been right on budget, slightly over by $1.10, because we budgeted $50 for Great Wolf Lodge. We spent $51.10, so we would have been on budget, but that's okay. We don't have family come visit very often, so I wanted to make sure that we didn't feel neglected and like left out. And I know that's a bad reason to spend money, but we did it as budget friendly as we could. And last but not least, down here, we've got some of like our savings / sinking. Some of these would be considered sinking funds, but I have them in the savings because that's where I put them in our bank account. So just for my own personal preference. Xbox Scorpio fund, we are saving for, it comes out in probably November. We don't know exactly for sure, but the new Xbox comes out later this year, and we typically set $40 aside. We haven't been doing that right now. My husband did, however, put all of his birthday's coming up and then Father's Day, and rather than buying gifts for him, he requested that I just put the money that would have been budgeted towards gifts into that fund for him, so that way we don't fall behind, because we know we're going to be buying it when it comes out, and we want to make sure to have the cash.
Woo!
So he does have money in there, but it didn't mess with the budget at all, because we had money set aside in a savings account or in a gift savings account, and I just moved it over to there, so it didn't affect the budget, which is why you see no numbers on here. Our Amazon Prime membership, same thing. I didn't set aside. Even without setting aside, we're like only slightly behind what we need when it renews later this year. Nothing into the savings account. We set aside $200 as budgeted into our auto account. Gifts, I didn't originally have anything budgeted for, but due to the extra income this month, I did want to bulk it up to where I knew what we would be spending. So I know generally how much we spend on each birthday, anniversary, etc. for each person in our life that we shop for. And so I put enough in there to hit the balance needed for the June birthdays and Father's Days. Did you see a little head back here? I just saw it. Where'd she go? She's squatting down now. Try to keep your kids quiet while you film like a video in the middle of the living room. Try it. I dare you. Mine are doing pretty good. They're like crawling around. I'm trying not to be distracted, but they're doing good. So the gift savings, I just bulked that up because I know it was going to be spent. We have Father's Day coming up in June, and we have my husband's birthday. We've got...
Sorry. I tried.
Apparently it's not the kids I have to worry about. Woo! That wasn't planned, I promise you. You've seen this whole thing unravel, okay? That wasn't planned. We do that all the time. So gifts, yeah. Okay, moving on. Nothing in the kids' savings accounts, which we haven't been saving for them recently anyway. So, that's all I've got for you today. You see this punk back here? That's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't yet, please consider subscribing to the channel. And until next time, we will see you later. Bye.
Woo!
Bye. Thank you for watching this video.
You silly girl. Yeah, there's nowhere to put your hand. I did that too, and it's not the same effect.
You know what?